it's Michelle. How are you doing today? So I just got back from the Dollar Tree and I had a couple of things I needed to get there, and I was surprised. They didn't have a lot of books, but they had some books that I wanted to get, which I haven't had happen in quite a while. I've been thinking a lot lately about where I find books that I love and where I find authors that I love. And the more I think about it, it's just in really random places. I find books that I love and authors that I love at Book of the Month. That happens to me a lot. Clearance racks at Barnes & Noble. The Dollar Tree, oddly enough. At an airport, a bookstore at an airport, I have found more than one new author that I really enjoyed. Just trying to grab some random book on my way to catch a flight. And then also a used bookstore, especially maybe just taking a chance on a book because it was only 50 cents or something like that, which is also where the Dollar Tree comes in. I think it's always nice to be able to just grab a book because maybe I like the cover or I think it sounds kind of interesting in some way, but I'm not so worried about how much money I'm spending on it. And that's where some of these books come in today. I got Little Boy by Lawrence Ferlinghetti. And so at the Dollar Tree, just in case you haven't shopped there lately, each thing there is $1.25. This book is 179 pages long. Lawrence Ferlinghetti was born in Yonkers, New York in 1919. Founder of the famed City Lights booksellers and publishers, he is an activist, painter, and author of numerous works of poetry, prose, and drama. In this unapologetically unclassifiable work, I love that word, unapologetically, yes. Lawrence Ferlinghetti lets loose an exhilarating rush of language to craft what might be termed a closing statement about his highly significant and productive 100 years on this planet. The little boy of the title is Ferlinghetti himself, as a child, shuffled from his overburdened mother to his French aunt to foster childhood with a rich Bronxville family. Really? Wow, he did have quite the childhood. Service in World War II, including the D-Day landing. Graduate work, a scholar gypsy's vagabond life in Paris followed. These biographical reminiscences are weaved with Allen Ginsberg-esque high-energy bursts of raw emotion, rumination, reflection, reminiscence, and prognostication on what we may face as a species on planet Earth in the future. Little Boy is a magical font of literary lore with allusions galore, a final repository of hard-earned and durable wisdom, a compositional high-wire act without a net or all that much punctuation, and just a gas and an inspiration to read. It's either going to be 5-star or 1.5, right? Amazing or just mediocre. Probably amazing, but we'll see. Then we have The Distance Between Me and the Cherry Tree by Paola Peretti. The cover alone is enough to make me feel like I had to have this book. And then look at the back. Oh my gosh, right? Paola Peretti lives in the province of Verona, Italy. She studied literature and philosophy and graduated with a degree in publishing and journalism, and later attended the Palomar School for Creative Writing in Rovigo. As a teenager, she was diagnosed, the same as her main character, with a rare genetic illness called Stargardt disease, which causes progressive vision loss and eventual blindness. She is currently teaching Italian to immigrant children. The Distance Between Me and the Cherry Tree is her debut novel. Oh, wow, her debut novel. It's always fun to start with someone's debut novel, don't you think? Now, this is a mid-grade book. There are a lot of things 10-year-old Mafalda cares about, like counting the stars in the night sky, playing soccer, and climbing the cherry tree outside her school. Mafalda keeps a list of all these things because soon she won't be able to do them anymore because she's going blind. Even with her bad eyesight, Mafalda can see that people are already treating her differently, and that's the last thing she wants. So she hides the fact that her vision is disappearing faster than anyone predicted. And she makes a plan. When the time is right, she'll go live in the cherry tree, just like her favorite book character. But as Mafalda loses her sight, surprising things come into focus. And with the help of family and friends, both old and new, Mafalda will find her way through the darkness, literally and figuratively. I'm just saying, that sounds like such a good book. I don't know if I can wait to read this one. Look at the beautiful picture or drawing in there. I think that's a drawing, really, but I shouldn't say picture. Nobody photographed that. Ooh, look. Okay, so they're all throughout. So visually stunning. And this is 215 pages long. I think I might have to read this soon. So the next book is Parakeet by Marie-Helene Bertino. Once again, does it matter if this is a good book or not when the cover looks like this? I love this cover. To me, it's everything. Like, I want to put it in a shadow box with some other cool stuff. I don't even know if I care about the book being good. I'm sure it is, but I'm just saying. This book is 224 pages long. The week of her wedding, the bride is visited by a bird she recognizes as her dead grandmother. That's all I read. I had to get the book. It's like, wait a minute. I love books that take place around a wedding because I feel like weddings or funerals, because I feel like emotions are so heightened around those events. And then I know a lot of people think that birds or butterflies or that kind of stuff are people who have passed away, and I think that's just very fascinating. So when I read that first sentence, I just had to have this book. So that was it. So let's see what else it says. It must be because of the cornflower blue line beneath her eyes, her dubious expression, and the way she asks, "What is the internet?" Her grandmother is a parakeet. The parakeet tells the bride not to get married. She tells her, "Find your brother." In the days that follow, the bride's march to the altar becomes a wild and increasingly fragmented, uncertain journey that bends toward the surreal and forces her to confront matters long buried. A novel that does justice to the hectic confusion of becoming a woman today. Marie-Helene Bertino's Parakeet asks and begins to answer the essential questions. How do our memories make, cage, and free us? How do we honor our experiences and still become our strongest, truest selves. Who are we responsible for? What do we owe them? And how do we allow them to change? Darkly funny, urgent, strange, warm-hearted, and sly, Parakeet is ribboned with fear, joy, and an inextricable thread of real love. It is a startling, unforgettable, life-embracing exploration of self and connection. Okay, so this is one of those put on your seatbelt before you read this book kind of adventures, I think. And now this is the only one that was there. And maybe I was supposed to read it. Maybe this is Kismet, right? Now I think part of why it was there is, if you look, there's a tear in the bottom of the cover. So it might just be that this might be a best-selling book that everybody bought, but this particular copy is damaged, and that might be why I happened upon a copy of it. And then the last book that I got, you guys know I love a memoir. I do. And I don't know why I pick certain ones over others. The range of memoirs that I have in my TBR stack here in my library and on my in my SCRIBD account are so random and varied. The different types of people and the different, it's just really bizarre to me. But this one really stood out. Beautiful on the Outside by Alan Rippon. Former Olympic figure skater and self-professed America's sweetheart, Adam Rippon shares his underdog journey from beautiful mess to outrageous success in this hilarious, big-hearted memoir. Your mom probably told you it's what's on the inside that counts. Well, then she was never a competitive figure skater. I just laugh because, having been a ballerina, I know exactly what he's talking about. It is so difficult to be in that world. They're very similar, figure skating and dancing. It's like you like to concentrate so much on who you are on the inside, but then anyway, okay. Olympic medalist Adam Rippon has been making it pretty for the judges, even when, just below the surface, everything was an absolute mess. From traveling to practices on a Greyhound bus next to ex-convicts, to being so poor he could only afford to eat the free apples at his gym, Rippon got through the toughest times with a smile on his face, a glint in his eye, and a quip ready for anyone listening. Beautiful on the Outside looks at his journey from a homeschooled kid in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to beloved medal-winning skater on the world stage and all the disasters and self-delusions it took to get him there. Yeah, it may be what's on the inside that counts, but life is so much better when it's beautiful on the outside. Yeah, especially, I don't know if I should say especially in this day and age. I think it's always been that way. You're supposed to be beautiful on the outside. But boy, it sure is easier when you don't care anymore, if I'm honest. And this book does have a bunch of pictures in the middle. There are 241 pages in this book. So that's all the books that I got. I'm just very excited about all of them. I don't know if that I will wait very long to read them. I guess we'll find out. But usually I get books at the Dollar Tree and they sit on my TBR shelf for months or years on end. Maybe these ones won't. We shall see. It just feels like I was supposed to buy them today. Let me know if you've got any good books lately. Let me know what your summer reading plans are. I would love to hear that. It's always fun to hear what people are reading. I will be obviously talking to you soon about what I'm reading and what my plans are. And Sorry I haven't been on here as much lately, but I do have to take care of myself and my mental health. And lately, I've just been really struggling with social media and being on here as much. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Happy reading. Bye.